Who wants to create a positive impact in the world? Please raise your hand. Nice and high. So did I. 6 years ago, I found myself in the living room of my apartment in Bali. And I had my eyes hurt a lot. It's like, imagine a migraine in your eyes. And what happened to me was, I injured my eyes. And even during the day, it was very hard to open my eyes because if the sunlight would come in, it would be very painful. And I was very scared I was losing my eyesight. And I felt isolated, frustrated. Also, with my work, I was working for a corporate company and it was not in alignment with my values and my passions. I just felt drained and sad. So I called my mentor and I explained to him the situation. And I told him everything. And he asked me, Obed, your eyes are hurting. What is it that you don't want to see? And as I reflected on this question, I got very sad and tears roll over my cheeks. And I realized that I was telling myself I was happy, but I wasn't. Because I was in Bali, I had a work permit, I had money. I made sure that there were photos of me seeing me surfing, and I put it on Facebook, so it looked amazing on Facebook. But in my really, truly deep down, I didn't feel happy. And it felt very confronting. And then I asked myself, because I learned these tools from other personal development courses, and I learned the power of empowering questions. So I asked myself, okay, what would bring me joy and fulfillment? And I realized it's actually helping people again engage with their passions and achieve their dream business. And then I thought, okay. And I was on the phone with my mentor while I was going through this process. And I realized, man, I know I did a month ago, I did a workshop for some friends, they loved it, but they're just my friends, they're just being nice. And I know I work as a senior coach for one of the top 3 fundraising companies in Holland. And I know we were raising millions of euros, and I know I was coaching a team of 170 fundraisers and a team of 8 coaches and helping those coaches improve their coaching capacities. I know that, however, this is different. Now it's about achieving my dream business. Achieving my dream business, and it's about helping others engaging their passions and their dream businesses, which is a total different thing. And I'm in Bali, I cannot do this, I'm not good enough, who am I to? And I was just, no, I cannot do this. And I talked about this for about half an hour. And then my coach, he asked me, can I share a metaphor with you? And I said, yeah, of course. He says, well, imagine you have 2 bricks and a plank. And a martial art practitioner wants to break through the plank. What does he focus on? So 2 bricks, a plank, he wants to break through. And I said, well, in the middle of the plank, because that's where you want to break. He says, yeah, I understand you say that. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, this is why you don't break through. I said, I don't understand. What do you mean? He said, well, this plank represents the challenges and the obstacles, and you're focusing on it all the time. You've been for half an hour just talking why you cannot do it. All the reasons why you cannot do it, because you're sick, because you don't have much money. And although those are valid obstacles, a martial art practitioner, if he wants to break through the plank, he would focus on the air underneath, because then he can break through it. He focuses on where he wants to go. And where he wants to go represents solutions and opportunities. This was for me an amazing insight. And after that call, I started to play my guitar because I thought, okay, if I want to help others engage their passions, I got to be the change I want to see in the world. So I started playing guitar. I started doing yoga. When I was writing, I couldn't read because my eyes were painful. So I grabbed my phone and I recorded all my ideas, which I had about helping others. And I started to feel better. After a few weeks, I started to do workshops by donations because I was very shy. And I noticed people were liking it. And they were also complete strangers were liking it. And I got recommended to the Green School, which is an international school in Bali. And I was doing professional development days for the teachers. A few months later, I was at the Bali Spirit Festival. It's one of the biggest yoga and personal development festivals in the world. I was presenting there. And now today I've helped already more than 1,000 people improve their lives and help them achieve their dream businesses. And I'm not saying that so much to impress you, but more to express what is possible if we just have a clear vision and also know what our challenges are and don't give it power. Give power to the solutions and the opportunities. And before I go into the clarity, I have this exercise, and I want to have your help on this. I'll just grab the whiteboard. Because clarity on a dream business is important, right? Who's ever felt lost on your business? Who's ever felt that I don't know my direction at the moment? Who's ever, yeah, many people, okay, good. But not good, but I mean, thank you for your honesty. You know, it takes courage to be vulnerable. And the more vulnerable you guys are, the more impact I can give you and the more you can gain. So, what are the problems you encounter when you don't have clarity on your dream business or on your business? What are the problems? Lack of clarity. Yeah? What are the problems when you have this? How does it feel? Not everybody at the same time. Please.
No focus.
No focus, yes. And just yell. You don't have to raise your hand. I know in Holland and in Germany we're very polite. If you don't have, just share. Yell it out.
It's a waste of energy.
Sorry?
It's a waste of energy.
Waste of energy. Thank you. Waste of energy. This is an S. No focus. Yeah. Yes? You don't know what to do next. Yeah. And how does it feel to know what to do? Powerless. Thank you. Powerless. Waste of time, yeah. Waste of energy, time. Sorry? Frustration. Thank you, Daniela. Okay. So I have a few tools to help you overcome these challenges so that you get your clarity. And for that, I need my pointer, which I put here. Okay. So one of the things I'm really passionate about is Ikigai. I know Hector. Ikigai is a concept, a Japanese concept. It basically means reason of being, a reason to wake up in the morning. Because in Japan, millions of people are in touch with their Ikigai. And there's actually a village called Okinawa where a lot of centurions are living. So a lot of people who are 100 years or older. And if you look at this documentary, it's very inspiring because you see this older lady, like in her 80s, and the journalist asks her, do you think you're going to be 100 years old? And she's like, yeah, of course. I love that. And it's because a lot of Japanese, and especially at the village, are in touch with the Ikigai. They have a reason to get up in the morning. And there are 4 parts. If you could, Fabian, if you could put this aside, thank you very much. May I have a round of applause for Fabian, awesome volunteer here. In fact, how amazing is this citizen circle? How amazing is this conference? All these volunteers, all these people are helping out. Can I please put a big round of applause for co-founders and all the team? Right. Okay, Ikigai. So what you love, if you do something, if your business is in alignment with what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs and what you can be paid for, you're in the center, you're in the sweet spot, you're Ikigai. And this can be quite overwhelming to consider this. If you're not in Ikigai at the moment, this can be quite overwhelming. So my advice, my take on it is this. Focus first on what you love and what you're good at. And start to act on it. Start to put it into practice. And what happens is then, you start to become alive. You start to get energized. And then, because I think the world needs for people to come alive. So that's the third part, what the world needs. And the more you zone into that. This is my take on it, yeah? The more you zone into that, the more you raise your energy, the more excited you become, the better you get, the more skills you learn, and then people can start paying for it because they're valuing it more and more. And then you get into the fourth part, what you can be paid for. I'm very inspired by Albert Einstein. I love reading biographies of inspiring people. Albert Einstein is one of those people. And he said once, your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions. And also inspired by Albert Einstein and many other people. Like, most of what I share is something that I've been inspired by. And also, what I'm sharing with you today, these are tools and strategies that work really well for me. They work really well for my clients. But it doesn't mean necessarily they will work really well for you. All I'm saying for you today is to have an open mind. And if you see a tool or strategy, you feel like, hey, that's interesting. I'm going to check it out, put it into practice, see if it works. And if it doesn't work, it's fine. We can still be friends. Okay? So a few questions, a few empowering questions, which you can see on your worksheet. You've been dealt out a worksheet, and on the front page you see me. And on the second page you see these questions, 4 questions. There are many more questions. I've written a Break for the Year ebook about lots of questions, and I picked out the 4, which I find very powerful for you today. And the first one is gratitude. What do you feel grateful for? Because the more you reflect, and specifically on your career, because the more you reflect on gratitude, the better you feel, and it will help you with gaining clarity. Yeah? So I feel, for example, very grateful for a couple of days ago. I was at the workation here at Freedom Circle, and I was providing a clarity workshop. And it was awesome. Like, you guys, I feel, this community is very close to my heart. Yeah? I've already provided 5 workshops to the Citizen Circle community, and I love coming back because you are dedicated, you're committed, strong values, you really want to help each other, and that's also what I experienced there. And one part, Daniela did an amazing speech, and also Sebastian did a small speech. It was beautiful. And what I noticed, what I feel very grateful for, was that afterwards, people were even wanting to do a video testimonial just to give back. And that's what I mean. 7 people just said, yeah, I'll do a video testimonial. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. You guys, you really understand this concept of sharing. And another thing I felt grateful for, slightly provoked, was one moment when I said, I used one of my side dreams as an example. I said, I would like to become a good musician. Because now at the moment I play music, right? And I love it. But after 3 songs, people say, Obed, thank you for your songs, but now can somebody else play? Yeah. And I understand, I'm a beginner, but still, I would love to just be able to sing and all that. So I shared this. And then Sebastian said, we got a talent show here at the conference on Saturday. Do you want to play a song? So I was there in front of the whole room, like here, and staring everybody to step out of your comfort zone. And then Sebastian challenged me, you can do a song as well. So what can I do? I had to say yes. And this is also that I feel grateful for that. Yeah, and that is it helps me also with my positive mindset. And now I'm at home practicing my songs. Okay. So what do you feel grateful for? That's why I share this example. What do you feel grateful for regarding your career? Another question is, who inspires you? So these are people who inspire me. Dalai Lama, Steve Jobs, Tony Robbins, Di Manuel. And I'll just give this an example with people who inspire me. And for example, Dalai Lama, he really inspires me because he's just so compassionate. And he has a real passion to help create a better world. Steve Jobs inspires me because he got a lot of shit done in his life, May he rest in peace. It's amazing what he has created too. And Tony Robbins, providing seminars for 8,500 people at the same time. That's inspiring for me because my goal is to help 1 million people achieve their dream business. So and it's also inspired by Tony Robbins. Di Manuel, amazing coach who's helping me on my public speaking skills. Because I know for me to reach my goal of helping 1 million people, I want to do more speeches and I want to get more people involved. Not so much for me like, oh, look at me on my CV, I helped so many people. No, it's because I really feel deep down, the more people get in alignment with their talents and their dreams, the more people will, the better it will become. Not only will we experience more joy and fulfillment ourselves, but it will also help us overcome the challenges our world is facing today. So who inspires you? It can be these people, but it can also be other people. Another question, top 3 periods in your career. Great question to consider when you want to get clarity on your dream business. Is to reflect back, because you've already experienced so much. You're here right now. You're doing amazing in your field, otherwise you wouldn't even be here. So there's a lot, when you consider those 3 periods that you were very inspired and you felt excited, study that and see how you can integrate that into your future, for your future business, or for your business right now. Does this make sense? I see polite, yes. if you have all the money and love and health in the world, what would you do? Great question to help you free up the mind. Just imagine no obstacles, no fears, just what would you do if you had all the love, money and health in the world? And again, these questions you can find on your worksheet, so you can work on it later, if you want to. You don't have to, if you want to. An inspiring story is about Pekka. I met Pekka 4 years ago in Bali, and at the time he wanted to get my help for his clarity, because at the time he had a successful business, online coaching, an online platform business, 100,000 paid subscribers, providing online courses, helping people with their skills, making a lot of money. But he told me in Bali, it's all great, but something is still missing. And I feel no focus, waste of energy, don't know what to do, powerless and frustrated. Because I want to do more, but I don't know what. And he joined my Break for the Year program. And I guided him through these processes, similar as what I just shared with you today. And for him it became clear that he wanted to help people with personal development. Keep running his business, but also helping people with personal development. Specifically, helping them live a more authentic life. So we created a whole business plan. Everything. Strategies. Everything. 4 months later, when he was about to launch, he told me on a Skype call, I was in Bali, he was in Finland. He told me, I'm not going to do it. I'm not good enough. Who am I to help others? Who can relate with that? That you want to do something, but then you don't feel good enough. You feel like you feel stopped. No, he had that feeling. And I guided him through some processes, overcoming those challenges. A month later, he was on the street in Helsinki, recording his videos on helping people live a more authentic life. Put it on Facebook, 100,000 people watched it. A month later, he put another video on Facebook, 200,000 people watched it. And a year ago, the same publishing company that is publishing books for Eckhart Tolle, which is a spiritual teacher. You probably know him, he's a German spiritual, is he German? I think he's German, he seems German. Very inspiring man. Sold 12 million of books, Eckhart Tolle. The same publishing company that's publishing books for Eckhart Tolle approached Pekka and asked him if he wants to write a book on personal development. So he's writing that now. But while he was doing that, and that's something that really inspired me, he kept working on his business. And he got more energized and more passionate because he was more in touch with what he really wanted to do, and he got inspiration for his own business. So he created the Digital University, which is an education system for people to become financially free, and also with meaningful business activities. And last year, 135 people signed up, generated 500,000 euro because of that, because it's a year-long program. And I know money is not really the aim of this, right? It's a tool. However, it's really cool to see what can happen when we get in touch with our passions and our purpose, that it also helps us with generating more revenue so that he can reinvest into his projects and have a bigger impact on the world. And another thing that really inspires me about it is that success is inevitable. Success is inevitable. As long as we just make sure that when fears and limiting beliefs arise, it's just a matter of time before we create the successes that we want. Make sense? So what happens when we want to go for a dream business? Sometimes this happens. And fears can really kick in. And it sucks when it does. And I just asked you, some of you already raised your hands, you ever felt scared? And I felt scared 6 years ago, man. I was scared to go for my dream business. And some tools that I've learned along the way, which is very powerful for my clients, for a lot of my followers, I want to share with you today. And it's from Tim Ferriss. One of the reasons. So a lot of people say, oh, but you look a bit like Tim Ferriss. It's not true. He looks a bit like me. And he did a TED Talk, on fear setting. And man, I'm inspired by that talk. Man, it's incredible. I'm so inspired that I shared it with you today. And it's even on your worksheet. And the first thing that you see on your worksheet, when you open up your worksheet, open it up, page 3. May I have a worksheet, please? And some water? I got water here. Thank you. Thank you, Fabian. So on page 2 you see those clarity questions. And page 3 you see overcoming fear. So there are 5 questions, which I find very powerful. Define, list the worst things that could happen. So for example, for me, 4.5 years ago, I was kind of bankrupt with my coaching business. And I considered to stop. My fear at the time was if I keep going, I cannot make enough money, I have to go home and live with my parents. Now, I love my parents, I really do. But you know the saying, if you think you're enlightened, go spend a weekend with your parents? That's for me as well. I love them, but okay. So, and also the shame, like, oh, I tell everybody, I was already telling everybody I was a coach, and if I fail, shit, you know, it was really, but then I'm thinking, I don't have money, so what to do? Now, I remembered a very powerful tool, which I learned from Tony Robbins, was about, if you know your why, the how will fulfill itself. I repeat, if you know your why, the how will fulfill itself. Okay, what are my reasons? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And I realized, oh, okay, I'm helping people. And I connected back with some testimonials. But before I get back to that, let me first, so that was the fear. Let me just follow the structure, otherwise it's a bit confusing. So define the fears. That was my fears, to fail. And fly back to Holland. At the time I was living in Bali. I still lived there. At the time I lived in Bali and I was scared to fail. How can I prevent it from happening? I considered, okay, I can do my best. I can ask for help. So I reached out to one of my other coaches, Robert Benninga, and he had spoken in front of 300,000 people in 52 countries, wrote 6 books, 68 years old. And I think I'm going to give him a call. He might be able to help if he wants to. I had sort of a friendship. I called him, I asked for help. He said, man, I'm here for you. I'll give you 3 coaching sessions, 8 coaching sessions. They were usually €400. And I was like, really? He said, yes, I'll help you. Okay, fantastic. So he started helping. And I started to learn. So that's how I prevent it from happening, to ask for help. Then, repair. Third one. If the worst things happen, how can you repair it? So I considered myself, okay, if I fail, and it doesn't work out, even though with help from Robert, I'll still survive it. Oh, that's true, I'll still survive it. And I'll go to Holland. Okay, I might have to live with my parents, maybe with my brothers. But then I can get a job, I can earn money, and I can save money, and I can go back to Bali and go again. And again, and again, and again, until I succeed. Now that was for me like, oh, knowing that worst case scenario and knowing how to plan for that, that really changed the game for me. Fourth one, benefits. What are the reasons? I just shared it. What are the reasons? For me, helping people. I just feel so much joy and fulfillment. You know, it's so awesome, and I love to speak. I love to be on stage and share, and seeing that it makes a difference. It's very fulfilling. And then 1 year, list the costs in inaction during this time. That's the last question on this fear setting. So imagine if you don't do it. Imagine you're 85 years old and you're in your rocking chair and you haven't done anything of your dreams. How would that feel? For me, it's like, whoa, that would really suck. Damn, I would be still in corporate jobs and living a life full of regrets. So that gave me the drive to be like, okay, I'm gonna go for it. Another tool that helps me with fears is breathing. Deep breaths through the belly, through the nose, into the belly and out. Amazing. I cannot say it enough. It's such a great tool, breath. Use it. Again, these are tools that helps for me. I just encourage you to discover, see if it works for you. If it does, great. If it doesn't, it's all good. Yeah? Another thing is to change the meaning of obstacles and challenges. Because I see it as an opportunity for growth. I'm so glad that 6 years ago I had my eyes were hurting. I'm so grateful for all these challenges, because it really, now, today, when somebody approaches me and says, hey, I feel no focus, waste of energy, don't know what to do, I know how that feels and I can help. So it made me more stronger. And the same is for you. The challenges you have right now for your dream business or for your business or whatever you're doing, I encourage you to see them as opportunities for growth. And have fun. As we are stepping out of our comfort zone, when we want to go for our dream business, we're going to do new things. And let's have, and there's this belief in Holland that, and probably also in Germans, because I've noticed that also happens with all the Citizen Circle members, so we got to do it, when we do it, it has to be right in one go. We have one shot, and if we fail, it's ruined and we'll never have a second chance. And I'm saying to you, if you think that, stop that! You have a second chance, you have a third chance, you have a fourth chance. So I say, and also we talked, 2 days ago I interviewed Sebastian Koen on our upcoming book From Fear to Courage. And Sebastian Koen had some amazing insights and tools on how to deal with that fear of failure, that perfectionism that is within me, myself, still is, and also within a lot of other people. So if that's something that interests you, check out the interview, which will be on the link, obedabbo.com/cc. I just made a lot of free resources, and if you want, you can check it out right there. It's on the last page, you see a website, and it's for free, everything that you see there. So feel free to check it out. And you can also see Sebastian Koen's chapter already, which we are giving away for free, in which he shares his journey. Sebastian Koen shares his journey on how he achieved his dream business and how he overcame his challenges. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Now, I know this is a cliche, but man, it's true, isn't it? What are the belief systems? Let's talk about it. What is a belief, first of all? Belief, in my perspective of it, is the thoughts that we have that are influencing our actions, our feelings, the way we behave. And they can be limiting, such as, I'm not good enough, I cannot do this, which I had 6 years ago, and the story I just shared about Becca. But it can also be empowering. I can do this. I have the courage to make this happen. These are empowering beliefs that you can, if you want to, you can install. And a story that I find very inspiring that illustrates it is the story of a Cherokee native Indian. And it's a grandfather, and you might have heard this story. It's a grandfather, and he has a conversation with his grandson. And his grandfather shares with his grandson, there's a battle inside of me. And there's this fight. And the grandson asks, what's the fight? And the grandfather says, it's like there are two wolves inside of me fighting. The white wolf and the black wolf. And the white wolf stands for love and abundance, connection. And the black wolf stands for hate and fear. And then the grandson asks, so which wolf wins? It depends which one you feed. So it's all about focusing. Focus on the thoughts and emotions that we have, and also focusing on where we want to go. You're all probably familiar. Who's familiar with the SMART goal setting? Wonderful. Very important with that is accountability. Now, you all know this, but I might have some insight that might be interesting for you to hear. I also within a story, because it's so easy to set goals, but then it's very hard to also keep track of it. And I've noticed myself, I have 4 coaches myself, and 2 of them holding me accountable. And it's powerful. But you don't have to necessarily hire a coach. You can also do it with friends. I know the Citizen Circle has created this amazing resource with masterminds. And I'm a huge fan of masterminds. I'd say go engage it. And also agree with each other that you can give each other some tough love. Don't always be nice, always agree with each other. Hey, if you're not on track, may I give you some tough love? May I tell you, can we then still be friends? If you can make that arrangement with each other, you will really raise up and rise up and help you achieve your dreams. If you're going for your dream business and you're experiencing challenges, I understand. I really do. And I had it 6 years ago. And I had it 4.5 years ago. I almost gave up. All I'm saying to you is keep going. And there will be days that you wake up and you look in the mirror and you think like, I cannot do this today. I'm not good enough, And all I'm saying is focus, remember the white wolf and the black wolf. Remember the power we all have within us. Do those exercises. Get clear. Those exercises I just shared on your clarity, do them. Those exercises on fear setting, when you feel fear so overwhelming, sit down, write it down. What are the fears? What's happening? Structure it. And you'll see you get more perspective. And it will start to make sense. And you start to get more courage. And then one day, you'll notice that these challenges that you're facing today are actually opportunities for growth. And they're actually stepping stones to where you want to go. Because, man, the world needs our dreams and our talents, now more than ever. And I believe you can all do it. Because if I can, anybody can.